Good day, everyone. So, for today, we will start to discuss the second lesson in statistics and probability, which is all about the probability line. And what is our objectives for this lesson? Students will be able to predict the probability of chance events based on statistical principles and data. So all you have to do is to predict the probability of chances or chance events. Okay. So when we say probability, it is the chance that something will happen. It can be shown on a line. So given here in our probability line, we have impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely, and certain. So the probability of an event occurring is somewhere between impossible and certain, which is from 0 to 1. As well as words, we can use numbers to show the probability of something happening. So, if the given event is impossible to happen, that is 0. Okay? Impossible is 0. And then if the given event is certain to happen, sure or certain to happen, that is 1. So again, kung yung given po na event natin ay imposibleng mangyari as in 0 or 0%, impossible. And then kapag certain naman, sure event or 100%, that is a certain. Ngayon, we have here even chances. So when we say even chance, that is 50%. So 50-50. 50% yung chance na lumabas yung given na event na yon. So best example for even chance is when you toss a coin. 50% that it will be a head or 50% that it will be a tail. Another example for even chance is the true or false exam. So 50%, if your answer is true, 50% is the chance that you will be having a correct answer. Or 50% naman yung chance na magkamali ka. So even chances, 50% po. Ngayon, yung nasa pagitan naman ni impossible at ni even chance, that is what we call unlikely to happen. So nasa pagitan po ni impossible at ni even chance. So meaning, your probability must be less than to 50 or 50% but greater than to 0 or 0% for unlikely. So here in unlikely po, meron kang chance pero hindi ganun kalaki. Maliit lang siya. Hindi pa umabot sa kalahati yung iyong chances. So again, pag unlikely po, in between po siya ni impossible and even chance. So your event or the probability must be less than to 50% but greater than to 0%. So for example, the chance is 0.001. So, saan na kaya magfo-fall ngayon si 0.001? Under pa rin ba siya ng impossible? So, that is unlikely na po. Kasi merong chance pero sobrang napakaliit. Ayan. So, meron pa ding chance and that is unlikely. Kasi pag sinabi natin impossible, wala po talagang chance as in 0. Okay? So, kapag lumagpas na siya sa 0, nagkaroon na ng kahit na napakaliit na chance, that is unlikely na po. And then, pag sinabi naman natin 49.99%, saan naman yan ngayon mag-under? Under pa rin po yan ng unlikely. Kasi masasabi lang natin na even chance siya kapag 50% eksakto. Okay? So, less than na sa kanya, lahat yon pasok na sa unlikely. Okay? Punta naman tayo dito sa likely to happen. Pag likely to happen naman, that is in between even chance and certain. So, meaning, dapat yung probability mo po is less than 100% or less than 1 but greater than 50%. So, nasa pagitan ni 50% to 100%. So, dito, meron kang chance medyo malaki. Pero hindi po certain. Kasi pag 100% certain na po yun or sure event. Pag sinabi natin likely less than po siya sa certain or less than 100%. Example po, we have 99.99%. So, saan ngayon pasok si 99.99%? Pasok pa rin po siya sa likely pa din. Okay? Kasi lahat ng less than sa 100% ay pasok na po iyon kay likely. Masasabi mo lang na certain siya kapag 100% po siya. Ngayon, si 50.01% naman, saan naman yan ngayon pasok? Pasok na po yan sa likely. Kasi masasabi lang natin na even chance siya kapag 50% na eksakto. So, lahat ng greater sa 50 at lahat ng less than sa 100%, that is what we call likely to happen. Okay? So again, we have 5 probability line. We have impossible, 0% to happen po yan ha. And then certain, 100% to happen. Even chances, 50-50 or 50% to happen. Unlikely po is dapat less than siya sa 50% but greater than 0%. And that is in between impossible and even chance. Likely naman, that is less than 100% but greater than 50%, and that is in between even chance and certain. Okay? And that is the focus of our lesson for today, the probability line. Okay, next, we have here 0 and 1. So, events that are impossible have a probability of 0. So, lahat po ng events na imposible pong mangyari, that is 0. Okay? Or 0%. Impossible, 0%. Example, we have here rolling a 7 with a 6-sided dice. So, given po ang ating dice, we all know po na hanggang 6 lang naman ang dice natin. Tama? So, napaka-imposibleng magkaroon ng 7 or kapag nag-roll ka ng die, biglang lumabas si 7. So, rolling a 7 with a 6-sided has a probability of 0 because it cannot happen. Hindi po talaga siya mangyayari, kaya pasok na siya sa impossible. An event whose probability is closer to 0 is less likely to occur. So, kapag malapit na siya sa 0, hindi talaga siya 0, malapit lang, that is unlikely or less likely. Okay? Which is yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, na in between po ni 0 at ni 50. Okay? Pag closer siya sa 0, less likely po iyon. Pero that is not impossible kasi masasabi mo lang na impossible kapag 0 po talaga or imposibleng mangyari yung given na event. Okay? Next naman, 1. Events that are certain have a probability of 1 or another term for certain po is we have sure. So, kumbaga, 100% na mangyayari talaga yung given na event na yon. Example, getting wet if you walk out in a downpour with no umbrella. So, for example, umulan, tas lumabas ka, syempre, wala kang dalang payong, 100% sure na mababasa ka. So, that is a certain 100% yung chance na mabasa ka. So, the probability of you getting wet in this scenario is 1 or 100%. It is certain to happen or sure na mangyayari po yung given na event na yon. Ngayon, an event whose probability is closer to 1 is more likely to occur. So, ngayon, kapag yung given naman na event ay papalapit na siya ng papalapit sa 1, ang tawag naman doon is likely or more likely, no? Magiging certain lang siya kapag sure na 100% or 1. So again, kapag in between 50 and 100, that is likely to happen. Okay, so what is the probability of what number falls in the middle of 0 and 1? So, paano ba natin sinusulat si probability? So, we can write it as fraction, as percent, and as decimal. So, given po sa fraction, we have n over d, which is numerator divided by the denominator. So, your n, it will give us the total number of desired outcomes, and d, the total number of all possible outcomes. outcome. So, again po, ang ilalagay mo daw sa taas kung ano yung hinahanap mo. Let's say, for example, what is the probability of getting an even number when you roll a die? So, ano ba yung mga possible outcomes muna? I-list muna natin lahat ng possible outcomes kapag nag-roll tayo ng die. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the question is, what is the probability that if you roll a die, you will get an even number? So, bibilangin mo ngayon doon sa lahat ng posibleng outcomes, yung even number. So, ano-ano ba yon? We have 2, we have 4, and we have 6. O, ilan yan ngayon? At kung ilan yan, yan yung ilalagay mo sa taas or sa numerator. Okay? So, we have 3. Out of ilan ba silang lahat? Ilan lahat yung possible outcome? We have 6. So, 3 over 6 or simplest form po, we have 1/2. That is fraction. Okay? Ngayon, paano naman natin siya i-convert into decimal? Decimal muna. So, to convert a fraction to a decimal, divide the numerator by the denominator. Napakasimple lang. Ano lang ang gagawin mo? You will divide the numerator to the denominator. So, same example po tayo. Parang ita-transform lang natin siya into decimal. So, 1/2 yung nakuha natin sa fraction. So, para makuha yung decimal niya, all you have to do is to divide 1 divided by 2. So, the answer is 0.5 or 0.50. And that is for the decimal. And of course, to convert it to percent, all you have to do is to multiply the decimal value by 100 and all you have to do is to add a percent sign. So, nakuha mo ngayon si decimal which is 0.05 or 0.5 or 0.50. Then, multiply it to 100. And yung nakuha mo pong sagot, lalagyan mo ng percent sign. So, we have 0.5 or 0.50 times 100 and that is 50%. So, ganun lang po kasimple magsulat ng probability as fraction, as decimal, and as percent. Okay? Okay, so given po natin dito fraction, percent, and decimal, makikita po natin dito kung paano ang naging placement ng ating probability line. So again, probability line po natin, we have impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely, and certain. So of course, if we will start to fraction po, impossible, and certain po is 0 and 1 pa din. For percent naman, impossible and certain is 0% impossible, 100% certain, or 100% po is the sure event. And then, pag decimal naman, impossible is 0 and certain, same pa din, we have 1. Okay? Next, let's have the even chance. In fraction po, even chance, that is 1/2. Okay, kasi nasa gitna siya, no? Even chance, 1/2. And when we convert it into percent po, that is 50%. And then, for decimal po, of course, that is 0.50. And then, let's have the unlikely to happen. In fraction po, unlikely to happen, dapat yung probability po natin is less than sa 1/2 but greater than 0. Hindi lang po siya sa 1/4 ha. Ayan, nasa pagitan po siya ng impossible at ng even chance. Pero dapat po ang makuha nyo po is less than 1/2 at greater than 0. Hindi nyo po pwedeng lagyan ng equal. Kasi pag nag-equal po sa 1/2 yan, even chance na po yun. At kapag nag-equal naman siya sa 0, impossible na po iyon. Okay? So, sinulat natin siya as probability po, yan, ng fraction ang gamit. So, we have less than sa 1/2 and greater than sa 0. Pagdating naman po sa percent, dapat ang probability po natin ay less than sa 50% pero greater than po sa 0%. Okay? Greater than, dapat po less than siya sa 50% and greater than 0%. Pagdating naman sa decimal, dapat po ang makuha po ninyo is less than po sa 0.5 or 0.50 but greater than 0 pa din. Yan. And last, we have likely to happen. So, likely to happen po, hindi lang po siya nagfo-fall sa 3/4 ha. Dapat ang probability po ninyo ay less than 1 kapag fraction po. Less than 1 but greater than 1/2. Okay? So, meaning, it is in between the even chance and certain. And then, for the percent, of course, masasabi natin na likely siya kapag less than siya sa 100% at greater than naman siya sa 50%. And last po, for decimal, masasabi natin na likely siya kapag less than siya sa 1 but greater than siya sa 0.50 or 0.5. Okay? So again, kapag nakuha natin yung chances po natin, no? Nakuha na natin yung final answer. Let's say in percent niya siya nakuha. Kapag 0%, impossible. Kapag 100%, that is certain. Kapag 50% yung nakuha nyo, even chance. Ngayon, kapag in between po ni 0% at ni 50%, that is unlikely to happen. At kapag in between naman siya ni even chance at ni certain, that is likely to happen. Okay? Next, let's have the example. So, what would be the fraction, decimal, and percent you would write to show the probability of picking? Let's say, we are picking an ace. Ace po. Ace po sa deck of cards. Lahat po ng ace sa deck of cards. Okay, lahat ng ace ha. So, sa deck of cards po natin, we have a total of 52 cards. Okay, 52. And then, ano lang daw yung kinukuha natin? Ace. So, ilan po ba yung ace sa deck of cards natin? We have ace na diamond, ace na heart, ace na clover, and ace na flower. Ace na spade. Yan. So, 4. So, meaning, 4 po na ace out of ilan silang lahat? 52. And that is your answer for the fraction. Now, for decimal, para makuha mo yung decimal, all you have to do is to divide. 4 divided by 52. And then, kunin nyo po yung first 4 kasi in decimal po siya ha. First 4 po. So, after po ng decimal point. So, we have 0.0769. So, 4 po ang kukunin ninyo ha. Kasi sa percent, 2 decimal places po tayo. So, nakuha na natin yung decimal, convert it into percent, and all you have to do is to multiply 100. So, multiply po natin sa 100. Ang answer po natin for percent is 7.69%. And then, yan na po ang iyong magiging final answer. So, now, nakuha po natin is 7.69%. Identify natin kung saan po siya magfo-fall sa ating probability line. Impossible ba siya? Unlikely, even chance, likely, or certain? So, as you can see po, 7.69 and that is in between 0 and 50 po, no? Which is unlikely to happen. Okay? Next, number 2. Paano naman kapag ang kukunin natin is jack? Lahat po ng jack sa card or king. Lahat naman ng king sa ating card. Ayan. So again, pag gumamit po tayo ng or na word, ano po ang gagawin natin nun? We will add the two given probabilities. So again, ilan po ang jack sa card natin? We have 4 pa din po out of 52. Ilan po yung king? 4 din out of 52. So, add po 4 plus 4, 8 out of 52. And that is your final answer for the fraction. Now, to convert it into decimal, divide it to 52. So, 8 divided by 52, answer is 0.1538. And then, to transform it into percent, multiply it to 100. So, final answer po will be 15.38%. So, now, saan magfo-fall? Saan po siya magfo-fall sa probability line? Under siya ni unlikely pa din. Kasi in between siya ni 0 at ni 50%. So that is unlikely to happen. Okay, so now let's have more examples. So here, we will identify whether the following statement is impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely, and certain. So ito naman po ay application na po ng ating lesson. Okay, number 1, the sun will rise tomorrow. The sun will rise tomorrow. Is that impossible, unlikely, even, likely, or certain? Of course, that is certain. 100% po, no? Na magra-rise yung sun po tomorrow. Okay? So, this is a certain. Next, number 2. It will rain tomorrow. It will rain tomorrow. This is, ayan, certain pa din po. Though, hindi umulan dito sa atin, sa buong mundo po, araw-araw umuulan. Okay? May part sa buong mundo na araw na umuulan. And the number 3, if I flip a coin, it will land heads up. If I flip a coin, it will land heads up. That is even chance. So, naging even chance siya since kapag nag-flip tayo ng coin, dalawa lang naman ang pwedeng lumabas na. It is either it can be head or it can be tail. So, 50% po na makakakuha ka ng head and that is even chance. And last one, choosing a red ball from a bag with 1 red ball and 3 green balls. Choosing a red ball from a bag with 1 red ball and 3 green balls. Okay, red daw yung kukunin mo. So, yung red, isa lang daw. Out of ilan ba lahat ng bola? 3 plus 1, 4. So, 1 out of 4. So, saan siya ngayon magfo-fall? Magfo-fall po yan sa unlikely to happen. Ngayon, paano kung ganito yung question? Choosing a green ball from a bag with a 1 red ball and 3 green balls. Pinalitan ko ngayon. Choosing a green ball from a bag with 1 red ball and 3 green balls. So, ilan yung green balls? 3. Out of ilan silang lahat? 4. So, saan na ngayon siya magfo-fall? Magfo-fall na po siya sa likely to happen. So, again po, kapag 0 to 50 po, unlikely. 50 to 100 po, that is likely to happen. And when we divide, 3 divided by 4, that is 0.75 and 75%. So, in between na siya ni 50 and 100. Kaya siya naging likely. Okay? Ayan. So, meron lang po tayong kailangan tandaan. The probability of an event will not be less than 0. Hindi po siya pwedeng mag-negative. Okay? Hanggang 0 lang po ang probability ng given natin na event. This is because 0 is impossible or sure that something will not happen. Hindi na siya talaga mangyayari. Imposibleng mangyari. Hanggang 0 lang po ang ating probability. Okay? Hindi pwedeng mag-less sa 0. Next naman, the probability of an event will not be more than 1. Hindi naman siya ngayon pwedeng sumobra sa 1 or 100%. So, this is because 1 is certain that something will happen. So, hindi po siya pwedeng sumobra sa 1 or 100%. Okay? Kasi yung 100% po, yun na yung meaning na certain po talaga yung something na mangyayari or sure yung something na mangyayari. Okay? So, let's have more examples. Let's have more analyzation. So, example number 1. So, ang ginawa lang po dito, given po yung probability line, nilagyan lang po natin ng arrows and then A, B, C or di ba siya magfo-fall. Okay? So, which of the arrows A, B, C, D shows the best position on the probability line for the event? Tomorrow, it will snow in Hawaii. Sige, saan po kaya magfo-fall? A, B, C, or D? Magfo-fall na siya sa letter A po. Because that is impossible to happen. Kasi po, hindi po nagsisnow sa Hawaii. Mainit po doon. Okay? So, 0 yon. Impossible to happen. So, the correct answer is letter A. And last example po. Sa 50 centavo coin and the 10 centavo coin are tossed together. So, meaning po, ang i-imagine na lang natin, 2 coins are being tossed together. Which on the arrows, A, B, C, or D, shows the position on the probability line for the event? Both coins land tails up. Na kapag nag-toss ka daw po ng coin, parehong tail ang lalabas. Yan. Saan siya ngayon magfo-fall? Okay. Ayan. Sige po. So, given po natin, kapag nag-toss tayo ng coin, kapag isang coin lang, ang lalabas po ay head and tail. Tama? Ngayon, dalawa na pong coin ang nilabas ay ang tinos natin. So, ano-ano na ngayon yung mga magiging possible result? So, dagdagan po natin to ng head, tail, head, tail. So, ano-ano po ngayon ang ating magiging mga posibleng maging sagot? So, we have head, head. Ito po yon. Head, tail. Next po is tail, head. And last po is tail, tail. Ayan. Okay. So, ang sabi po dyan, dapat daw po yung coins magland siya sa parehong tail. So, ilan lang ba ang lumabas na parehong tail? We have isa lang po. Out of ilan yung possible outcome? 4. So, 1 out of 4 lang po na lumabas ang parehong tail. Okay? So, saan ngayon siya magfo-fall? Magfo-fall na po siya sa letter B, which is sa 1/4 or unlikely to happen. Okay? Ayan. So, that's all for today's lesson. If you have question for our today's topic, you can ask it in our synchronous class or you can comment it down below. So thank you for watching this video.